No shame in being stood up.
I'm stood up right now, man. Hello and welcome to Indievelopment, where you take a gander at the wondrous, sometimes hellish, world of indie games in development. In this series, we will introduce games in the middle of development, ready to be brain birthed into the loving cradle that is your game library. I'm Chad, your host, and for our second episode, we will be looking at something we've already shown on this channel: Creature Consorts. Visual novel type games are very popular in the indie game sphere. They seem fairly straightforward. Have art, have a gimmick, have characters with interesting personalities and quirks, and finally have an interesting story to tie them all together. At the minimum, not much animation is needed, nor do you need to think of game balancing and such. It seems to be one of the easier ways that budding game developers can put out a story that they want to tell to an audience. Heck, even big companies want to get into the dating game shtick. But we don't talk about that! It being such a popular genre, it takes a little extra oomph for one to stand out. Today we'll be taking a look at a visual novel dating sim type game that's in development. Creature Consorts is a monster girl dating sim where you can, well, date and flirt around with monsters and other magical creatures. Does Creature Consorts have what it takes to stand out among other dating sims out there? Well, let's take a look. Let's start with the game setting as we usually do. This game about dating magical creatures takes place in the mystical land of Canada. In this world, monsters, cryptids, and supernatural creatures are called mystics. They used to be hunted down for money, but nowadays hunting them down has been outlawed, and now they integrate into society. You play as Maggie, a witch specializing in potion making, who came to the arcane town of Langston because she was summoned by a letter. As you make your way through town, you're introduced to all the unique, colorful cast of mystics, aka your potential partners. I will list down the romanceable characters in order with which we met them in our own playthrough. First off, we have Patricia. Patricia is a Frankenstein's monster type of mystic. She was made through the experimentations of a mad scientist and now serves said scientist's daughter as a kind of babysitter slash assistant. She's big. Looks like she could probably seriously slap you around with absolute ease, but she's actually pretty chill. Susie is a vampire. She's actually Korean and turned in the late 1800s. She's been around Langston for a while and runs a record store. She has a great passion for music, and it shows with her dropping monologues on obscure avant-garde artists with no hesitation. Madeline is an all-American werewolf. She's a very sweet lady who decided to open up a bakery shop in Langston named Pie in the Sky. She definitely gives off the "we'll take care of you and give you hot chicken soup when you have a cold" type of vibe. Niall is a mummy. Oh, mummy!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, mummy!
Whoa.
Yes. She's from Egypt and she woke up from her deep slumber when she was brought over to this part of the world as part of an exhibition. And like you, she also recently arrived at Langston and is currently staying at the local hotel. Coco is a ghost. She's been in Langston all her life. And, well, afterlife. She's the receptionist at the town hall, which was also apparently her job before she passed on. She immediately took on the job when she heard that the town hall was looking for mystics to hire. The characters all give off their unique feel and vibe. The monster shtick also helps tremendously with giving them their own characteristics. There's also a lot of potential with exploring how they go about their daily lives, given their unique supernatural qualities and abilities. I do look forward to how they would unwrap these characters and flesh them out. In my opinion, there are two things that ultimately capture someone looking to play a visual novel dating type game. One of these is creating an interesting and unique cast of characters, all with their own unique and engaging storylines. For me, Creature Consorts has fulfilled this part of the requirement. I do want to learn more about these unique characters. Whether their story proves to be interesting is yet to be seen though. There's not much to say in the gameplay area. It's a pretty straightforward visual novel type game. You read through text and make decisions when prompted. Although, suggestions to the dev would be if they have plans of deviating from a traditional visual novel type thing, they have to show it in the next update. Core gameplay elements should be in a demo, I feel. For example, if there's a unique way of romancing and flirting with romanceable characters, they have to show it. Like, I don't know, match 3 minigame? Or will it have adventure type elements a la Monkey Island or another thing we played recently, Half Past Fate? Will there be stats in the game? Will there be a day-night cycle? Do we have a deadline or time limit to reach before everything culminates to a certain ending? These are important parts to know about dating sim type games. The audience needs to know about these aspects of a game, especially since the romancing or wooing elements are so central to the gameplay experience of a dating sim. Another game we played, Serial Lover, showed their romance mechanic outright, which was dialogue options that culminated into a rhythm minigame. I feel Creature Consorts needs to show these aspects of their game in the demo too, and definitely they need to show it in later updates. Aesthetic would include art, music, UI, and the cohesiveness of all of these in relation to the themes of the game. A while ago, I mentioned that characters and story is one of the things that make a visual novel type game. The other is definitely character design. Endearing, eye-catching, and memorable character designs are definitely a big part of catching a potential player's attention. While I can't speak for the aesthetic and artistic tastes of everyone else, it was very evident in our own playthrough that we absolutely loved the art style and character designs. Even before talking to the characters, you could already read a bit of their personality just from their design, and to me, that's pretty good. Well thought out design. Not to mention, they're cute as heck.
Oh, mommy!
The rest of aesthetic is still very much unpolished though, but I will give that a pass considering how it's still quite early in development. Right off the bat, the backgrounds definitely need an upgrade, preferably drawn in a style that complements the style of the characters. The UI also needs work. It's very rough, not as clean as I would like. But looking at the previous work of the current UI designer, I'm sure they have the talent to make it look sleek and clean. The music also doesn't stand out much and is basically non-existent. But let me reiterate that that's fine. It's only very early in the development stage, and things like this are the polish. They're what you improve upon once the core components are set and done. So yes, while these aspects are very lacking in the demo, I don't want to nitpick too much on them and continue to hope that the future of this game, we get to see better backgrounds, UI, and a more memorable OST to come with it. One thing is important for in development, and it's the development health of the game. We're looking at indie games in development, and as much as possible we want to find a game that will most likely be finished. A lot can happen in a developer's life that may stop them from making a game, but we'll judge this category by how much it has been updated, how often it's been updated, and how often the dev posts on their socials. As mentioned, this game has only been in development for a year, and a good portion of that was conceptualization. They've only so far released the current Kickstarter demo version and a private artist demo, using placeholder assets back when they were still looking for an artist to, well, art their stuff. As for now, we had a few words with the dev and they said that they don't have much updates planned because right now they're implementing feedback from the demo and restructuring their team. A lot of their efforts are being directed at behind the scenes work, so there won't be too many updates in terms of the game or even on their socials. But they do definitely still want to work on the game. As they said on their Kickstarter page, it's hard to keep a good dev down, and they plan to rise out of their inactivity with renewed fervor for delivering a game that supporters of the game will be proud of. In conclusion, while this game obviously has a long way to go in terms of development, I'd say they've got at least a good portion of what makes a good visual novel dating game: endearing characters and good character design. The main gameplay is still not there, and again, I am looking forward to seeing that part as well. Once they get those out of the way, the aesthetic polishes should follow. While the full version is still a ways away, I recommend anyone who's looking for a new dating game to check out Creature Consorts. Play the demo and give them your feedback. I'm sure they would appreciate it. All the related links to Creature Consorts, their itch.io, Twitter, and Kickstarter will be down below. Have any in-development indie games that you'd like us to check out? Tell us in the comments if ever, and we'll see you next time.